What is up, ladder climbers? Antoine Wader here from Elevate to the Unknown and the Way Report in nextgenheights.com. And it is Wednesday, December the 3rd, 2025, 7 a.m. Central. We are live on the Daily Climb. Yesterday, something happened that I need to tell you guys about, and I need you to understand. A company that has been around for 152 years got shut down. Let me say that again. 152 years. That company started in 1873. Before the telephone was invented. Before the light bulb existed. Before the Ford brothers or Henry Ford built a single car. That company survived the Great Depression. It survived 2 world wars. It survived 9 recessions. And yesterday, December the 2nd, 2025, it got shut down. The company is called FCB. 4,000 people are losing their jobs, most of them before Christmas. I want you guys to type FCB in the chat if you've never heard of them. I've never heard of them until I came across this story and I came across this article on yesterday. So I said, okay, well, let me do a little bit of research into who this company is. And then I found out everything that I just told you about. I want you guys to type 152 if that number shocks you. 152 years it's been around. Okay. Now, while that was happening on yesterday, Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, the company that made ChatGPT, sent a memo to his employees declaring a code red. Why did he declare a code red? Because Google is now crushing ChatGPT. I want you guys to type code red if you want to know what that means. Okay? And today, I'm going to tell you about a woman named Sher. She is 40 years old. She was a top engineer at Apple, a principal software engineer making all kinds of good money. And she stood up for what she thought what was right. Started a movement called #Apple2. You can go and check it out on Twitter, fighting harassment at the company. And you know what happened to her? She couldn't get hired anywhere for 18 months. She ran out of money. And she became homeless, living in her car. I want you guys to type homeless if that makes you angry. Type 40 if you're around her age. Okay? All this happened in the last 24 hours. And I'm going to connect all the dots for you guys today. By the end of the show, you will understand exactly what is happening, why companies that survived 152 years are closing, while Sam Altman is panicking about Google, and while standing up for what's right can cost you everything. And what you can do about it right now, okay? This is the Daily Climb. It's Wednesday, December the 3rd. The lie, the panic, the cost, and the choice. Let's climb today, guys. Let's see who's all in the house. We got Big Suggs in the house. Good to see you, my man. We got Life of Cam in the house coming to us all the way from Thailand. We got Topaz in the house. We got Mr. Governor in the house. We got Wayne Yu in the house. Who was that said they was coming in to us from Alaska? Wayne Yu, see, he was coming from Alaska. Omo Nike is in the house. 88 coming to us from Tampa, Florida. Good to see you guys. Listen More, Talk Less is in the house coming to us from the beautiful city of Atlanta. Good to see you guys this beautiful morning. Stay with me in segment 1, okay? Let's talk about something that you guys don't know anything about. It is Wednesday, December the 3rd, 2025. And I need to tell you about what happened on yesterday. December the 2nd, yesterday, Omnicom, the global advertising giant, they announced 4,000 job cuts. 4,000 job cuts. That's 3% of their combined workforce. But here's what makes this different. They just completed a $13.5 billion merger with Interpublic Group, IPG. Okay? And the first thing they did was announce 4,000 cuts. Most will be gone by the end of December. That's 3 weeks before Christmas. I want you guys to type December in the chat if that's brutal timing. Okay. CEO John Wren told the Financial Times yesterday, we are removing duplicate positions and trimming unnecessary management layers. And then he said this, we want to notify people as quickly as possible heading into December so as not to leave people in a state of doubt. Okay. Type doubt if that sounds like corporate speak for fired before Christmas. All right. That's what it sounds like to me. Fired before Christmas. All right. But here's where this gets dark. They're not just cutting jobs. They're shutting down historic agencies. Okay. Let's go to a little bit of history. FCB stands for Foot, Cone, and Belding. Founded in 1873. That's 152 years ago. Before the telephone was invented. Before the light bulb. Before Henry Ford built a car. That company created advertising campaigns for generations. Many of you guys have seen some of those advertising campaigns. It survived the Great Depression. It survived 2 world wars. It survived the dot-com bubble. It survived 2008, the financial crisis. It survived COVID. Gone. December 2025. I want you guys to type 1873 if you can't believe that number. Okay? Do a little bit more history. DDB, Doyle Dane Bernbach, founded in 1949, 75 years ago. The agency that created the Think Small campaign for Volkswagen. Okay? One of the greatest ad campaigns in the history of the world. Closed. Absolutely gone. Gone. Mullen Lowe, decades of work, closed, all being absorbed into other agencies. The brand's name, the history of it, the legacy of it, it's all erased now. I want you guys to type erase in the chat if this feels different, if it feels wrong. Okay? Let me connect the dots for you now, okay? I want to connect all the dots for you. IPG, before the merger, cut 3,200 jobs. Omnicom last year cut 3,000 jobs. Now 4,000 more. That's 10,000 total. 10,000 people in advertising lost their jobs. So Omnicom could complete a $13.5 billion merger. They expect $750 million in annual cost savings. You know what this means? Okay? You know exactly what it means. It means we're going to cut your salaries so that we can save some money. Your salary is now profit. That's what it means. And John Wren, the CEO, said they're doing this as quickly as possible heading into December. So people don't live in doubt. How generous. Let's fire you before Christmas so you're not wondering if you got a job when you come back for the New Year's. You know, you're unemployed for the holidays. That's basically what they're saying. I want you guys to type Christmas in the chats if this makes you sick. Okay? Now here's what you need to understand, because this isn't just Omnicom. All right? This is a pattern that we've been tracking for quite some time. If you guys have been on the show, you know that we've been tracking this data. Meta, 100, 250 jobs in December. Starbucks, up to 1,000 workers based on the warn notices that they just put out there for the month of December. October 2025, the highest monthly layoff total in 20 years. 153,074 job cuts in 1 month. Through October this year, 1.1 million layoffs announced. Okay? This is not isolated. This is a pattern. This is the reason why I'm talking about it, because it is a pattern. And yesterday we found out why. Okay. And it's because Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, the company that started this whole AI revolution, declared a code red. A code red. We're going to find out what that is next. Companies are panicking because 152-year-old agencies are closing. 4,000 people before Christmas. But why is this happening? Sam Altman declared code red yesterday. Google is crushing ChatGPT. When we come back, I'll show you the AI war that's causing all of this. Okay? I want you guys to stay with me, all right? Stay with me on this next segment. Wednesday, December the 3rd. And now I'm going to show you the AI war that Sam Altman declared code red over yesterday. I want to do something first. Before I do that, I want to share a video with you guys on CNBC when they dropped it on yesterday, when I had a chance to see it. Check out what CNBC is saying about this. Code red.
Mackenzie Sigalos joins us now. What does this mean? I mean, is this now put Google in a position now where they have an opportunity now to beat OpenAI in any stretch?
It certainly seems to signal that. So this code red warning comes from a leaked memo cited by the Journal and the Information. And in it, Sam Altman tells staff to pause work on ads, health and shopping agents, and then shift focus back to their core ChatGPT experience. Faster responses, better personalization, more reliable answers. And to your point, Scott, it is the clearest sign yet that OpenAI feels the heat from Google. So Gemini 3, it has topped ChatGPT on key benchmarks and helped push Gemini's monthly users from 450 to 650 million in just a few months. Crazy. Altman told employees that a new reasoning model launching next week already beats Gemini. But the memo makes clear that OpenAI's moat is under real pressure here. And it's not just Google. DeepSeek, it rolled out 2 new models that it says matches both GPT-5 and Gemini 3 on benchmarking tests. Another reminder that this leaderboard in AI is shifting in the course of weeks, not years, not even months. And all of this is coming as OpenAI is committed to $1.4 trillion in long-term AI infrastructure spending, a sell that was a lot easier to investors when ChatGPT was comfortably ahead. Scott?
Okay. The information reported that Sam Altman sent a memo to OpenAI employees declaring a code red. Think about this, okay? 3 years ago, December 2022, ChatGPT launched. It blindsided Google. Sundar Pichai, Google CEO, declared his own code red because OpenAI made Google look obsolete. Fast forward 3 years to the day. Now, Sam Altman is declaring code red because Google just crushed ChatGPT. I want you guys to type reverse in the chat if you see the irony. Type reverse in the chat. Okay? Altman's memo said this: ChatGPT is AI to most people. You think about AI, you think about ChatGPT because it was first to the market. And that's true. Okay? But now Google launched Gemini 3 and it is destroying ChatGPT 5.1 in every benchmark. All right. I had to go and check it out. This is what everybody's talking about. It's destroying them in every benchmark. Okay. Let me give you the actual numbers. There's a test called Humanity's Last Exam. 2,500 questions covering math, science, history, reasoning, and it is designed to test the limits of AI. Okay, it's a test that was put together to, test how well these AI models are doing, these LLM models. Google Gemini 3 scored 37.5%. ChatGPT 5.1 scored 26.5%. Crazy, huh? 26.5%. That's 11% or 11 points lower. So yeah, 11 points. It is massive. Ella Marina, that's a leaderboard where users ask questions and rate responses without knowing which AI they are using. Gemini 3 is leading the overall score. ChatGPT 5.1 ranks third, 300 points behind. Mayank Karajo, a principal scientist at USC, told Business Insider, Gemini 3 marks the biggest leap in large language models this year. That's what he said. And this is a principal scientist at USC. The quote that he said was, other models only saw incremental updates. I want you guys to type biggest if you understand what this means. Type it in the chat. So what did Sam Altman do? In his code red memo, he told staff they are redirecting resources towards improving ChatGPT. They're delaying initiatives, including a planned rollout of advertising in ChatGPT. You guys remember they were talking about rolling out a new version of OpenAI LinkedIn or something along those lines that was going to be coming out by the end of this year. Delayed. They thought they could be running ads in a chatbot. Now they can't because they're losing to Google. I want you guys to type ads if you see how desperate that sounds. Here's what this tells you. OpenAI is panicking. Google just proved that ChatGPT is not the inevitable winner. And when AI companies, when they panic, when they start redirecting resources, cutting costs, delaying plans, you pay the price. 4,000 jobs at Omnicom. 152-year agencies close. The AI war is causing real job losses right now. Okay? Right now. That's what it's doing. I want to show you guys something. Here's the crazy part. The CEOs are telling you that this is happening. Sundar Pichai, Google CEO, December the 2nd, on yesterday. This is his quote. AI will affect every job we will have to work through. Societal disruption. That's what he said. He said, AI will affect every job. We will have to work through societal disruption. Every job, societal disruption is what he said. I want you guys to type every job in the chat. Satya Nadella, Microsoft CEO, said this on December 1st. IQ without EQ is just a waste of IQ. So he's saying AI is taking the technical work, so you better have emotional intelligence. That's what he's saying. Marvin Ellison, the wonderful CEO of Lowe's. Lowe's been around for a long time. Marvin Ellison is a known leader in the retail market. He's been in there for quite some time. December the 2nd, which was yesterday, he said this, AI isn't about replacing jobs. Then immediately said this, rather than thinking about it solely as a job replacement tool, how do you think about it reducing someone's workload by 50%? I want you guys to type 50% in the chat if you caught that. So he's basically saying AI isn't replacing your job. It's replacing half of your job, which means they need half as many people. I want you guys to type replacing if you see this. If you see the corporate speak. These are the CEOs of the biggest tech companies in the world, the CEOs of the biggest retail companies in the world, telling you that AI is reshaping every single job. And what happens when you stand up against this? Let me tell you about Sure. Okay? I want you guys to stay with me on this next segment. Sam Altman is panicking. Google is crushing ChatGPT. CEOs admitting every job is affected. But what happens when you stand up for what's right? when you fight back against harassment at your company. I'm about to show you the cost of speaking up. So stay with me on this next segment, okay? Wednesday, December the 3rd. I'll get ready to say the 30th, but it's December the 3rd. Now we're on segment 3, and we're going to show you the real cost of standing up in this economy. The economy where there's not that many jobs. The economy where there's people that are hanging on to jobs when they want to go somewhere else. The economy that is called the low hire, low fire job economy. Let me tell you about Sure Scarlett. December the 2nd, Business Insider published her story, which was yesterday. Sure, 40 years old. Okay? Many of us, we're that same age range as Sure, okay? 20 years ago, she taught herself how to code. Broke into tech as a front-end engineer. And she did it without college. She did it without a college degree. She worked for Blizzard. She worked for Starbucks. She worked for USA Today. Ladder climber, as you would say, right? Get it out the mud. Learn. Teach yourself something. April 2020, she got hired at Apple as a principal software engineer. I want you guys to type principal if you know that senior level. If you're hired as a principal software engineer, that's a senior level engineer. She thought she found what she was looking for. Apple invested in education, installed computers in elementary schools, advocated for human rights, environmental rights. She felt aligned with the company. For 1 year, she worked at Apple, and then she saw problems. She saw problems. About a year after starting, Sure and some coworkers created the hashtag Apple II movement. You guys remember this. Apple II came after the Me Too movement. Apple II, that movement, the hashtag, they gathered testimonials from employees who shared allegations of harassment, discrimination, abuse. They sent an official open letter to Apple asking for specific changes in how the company handled labor issues and complaints. Many of you guys heard about Apple II, right? Type Apple II if you remember this. Well, 2 months later, she resigned. August 2021. She said this: I didn't view what I did as something that could ruin my career or put myself in a position where I couldn't provide for my daughter. This is what she also said. I still thought that I was doing the right thing. I still taught when you see something, say something. So that's what I did. This is what she said she did. I came across a video of her on CNBC some years ago. I want you guys to take a look at exactly what she was interviewed and what she discussed in this video real quick, okay? I'm going to play a little clip of it.
Tell me first, how long have you been at Apple, and why is now the time to gather this data and focus on it?
I've been at Apple for almost a year and a half. I definitely was in a little bit of a bubble that I didn't realize that there were, these kinds of concerns within the company. It's a very siloed company, so Slack kind of helped me into, some of those other bubbles where people were talking about these issues. I think ultimately the reason I got involved is because I had heard about a wage survey and went to participate in it because I care deeply about pay equity and, want to be a part of that transparency. And when I saw it was shut down and then heard that another one had actually been shut down in April using the same unlawful application of rules. I started one and basically said, I'm not going to take it down because I know that it's our legal right to collect this data. And I actually started hearing reports a week later of people being told not to participate, and some things even, a little bit more nefarious than that. And, fast forward kind of a month later to, asking for a pay equity channel within Slack and having that be denied because it's not workplace related.
Right.
So that was kind of the last straw.
Sure. It sounds like you joined right around the time when the pandemic started, maybe a little after, and you're based in Seattle. Do I have that right? Not in Cupertino?
That is correct. Yes, I work remotely in Seattle.
So I wonder how much of this that you're looking for is a massive culture shift within Apple, because those of us who have covered the company for a long time or been associated with it know that this is a kind of regimented, even secretive company that tends to be pretty prescriptive about the way that employees do what they do. Now, I don't know about the legalities surrounding that, but were you aware of that kind of cultural tendency within Apple, and is it your intention to change it?
So most people, MJ Cannabis said it in the chat, Apple do not play. They will blackball you and blackball your money. You do the right thing and remain anonymous. Most people already know that Apple is a pretty secretive company. You don't hear anything about them. They do layoffs. They announce all that stuff. None of that stuff leaks out outside of Apple, right? You don't hear very much about Apple at all. They're a very secretive company. They pay well. They treat their employees well, supposedly, and so forth. Well, she decided that she wanted to speak up and start talking about how some people were making less money than others. Specifically, she was talking about women, okay? And it didn't go very well for her. She said that she was still taught, when you see something, say something. So that's what I did. She went around asking people to sign and fill out surveys and all this other stuff because she believed what she was doing was right. Now, you already know the wage situation is based on what you negotiate. I don't think it has very much to do with gender, race, and all this other stuff. It's just really how you position yourself. After my years of experience, I know if I was going to not negotiate, I probably wasn't going to get the best offer. If I negotiated, I got some of the best offers. I didn't just accept what was given to me. And that's what some people do ultimately, right? You've been around this stuff for a long time. You will understand that there's some people who get top end of the market on the dollars, and there's some people who don't. But the people who don't are typically the ones who don't negotiate. And the people who don't a lot of times are the ones who are doing probably better and does better work. So when it comes down to this salary expectations, a lot of times in corporate America, you can't really compare the two, because if you're going to come on the market and let's just say the top of the range is 100,000, they're not going to pay everybody the 100,000. If you're going to come in and you're going to say, I'll take 70, and somebody else is going to say, I'm going to take 100, the person who gets 100 is the one who negotiated it. Okay? Just how it works. All right. But this lady had 20 years of experience, a principal level role at Apple, making all kinds of money. One of the biggest tech companies in the world. And she messed it up. She messed it up because she wanted to speak up on something that didn't involve her. Now, the people that was part of this Apple II movement, not very many of them stayed around. But she was the one who started it. She was trying to change the culture of a company that's been around for a long time. You can't do it. You can't do it. So here's the thing. She also believed that she would find another programming job outside of Apple after doing all this, right? Because in the past, it's never been an issue. It's never been an issue in the past for her, right? She was a principal software engineer. She did all the things that she did in order for her to get to that position. She had a lot of confidence in herself. She had 20 years of experience, a principal level role at Apple. That's big time. That's one of the biggest tech companies in the world. It must look great on your resume. She applied to places that seemed to align with her values, and no one hired her. Not one. Why is that, you say? All they had to do was look her up online. I was able to find this video. I was able to see exactly her online talking to CNBC about something that had nothing to do with her. I was able to see there's many other articles that's out there about her and how she took Apple to court. Didn't win, but it had nothing to do with her. 18 months. She couldn't find a job. She couldn't find a job for 18 months, guys. Some hiring managers told her she was underqualified, without a degree, even though she had 20 years of experience, even though she was a principal at Apple. I want you guys to type underqualified if that makes no sense. She said this: I had mixed feelings about my departure. I felt grief and disbelief at how it was ending. This is what she said in the article. But I was self-assured and excited to reshape my vision. I wasn't fearless, but I had a lot of belief that I'd find another programming job, because it had never been an issue in the past. 18 months later, August 2023, she ran out of money. She ran out of money to pay her bills. The same month that she ran out of money, she had to leave an abusive situation in her personal life. She had to send her daughter to live with someone else. And she had to live out of her car. I want you guys to type car if you can't believe this. She then spent time in shelters before getting referred to an intensive 10-week domestic violence program. So something is going on in the house. Something is definitely going on in the house. And she's looking at the corporate workplace, not taking care of what's going on in the house. She's looking at the corporate workplace. Before getting referred to an intensive 10-week domestic violence program, she spent some time in shelters. She went to classes daily and counseling sessions multiple times a week to talk about why her whole life she kept going towards abusive situations. She said this: I realized that I put all of my self-worth into my identity as a software engineer, and I neglected the rest of myself. I want you guys to type identity if you've tied your worth to your job. Type identity in the chat. She said, without that part of my identity, I felt like nothing. 40 years old, 20 years in tech, principal level at Apple, stood up for what she thought was right, homeless for 18 months. She left the program feeling like a completely different person. She re-enrolled in community college, but this time not for computer science, for astrophysics and earth scientists. Something that she always has been passionate about. Well, she's on track with highest honors this spring. She's on track to graduate with highest honors this upcoming spring. She just applied to transfer programs. She landed an internship at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in a research assistant position at Caltech. I want you guys to type Caltech in the chat if that's incredible. She said this: it's answering, or it's interesting, because the thing that has gotten me noticed at these places is my programming experience. She says, I'm finally in a place where that's no longer my whole identity, but it's part of myself that I'm getting to reclaim. She said if she could go back and change anything, it would be that she'd reach out for help with domestic violence that she was facing instead of suffering in secret. But about leaving Apple, she says, I don't have any regrets at all. Type no regrets in the chat if you respect that. But this is what happens when you stand up in an economy when companies are cutting 4,000 jobs in December, where agencies that survived 152 years get shut down, where Sam Altman declares code red because AI is advancing so fast. If you speak up, you can get blacklisted. If you got complaints, you can get blacklisted. You may not get a job. You can end up homeless for 18 plus months before rebuilding your life at 40. If you got something going on right now in your workplace, get the help that you need. But just know, if you speak up in this kind of economy, there's risk to it. I'm not telling you what to do and what not to do. If there's something that's going on in abusive relationships or anything like that, you got to get the help that you need. If there's something that's going on in the workplace, remain anonymous. Speak up. But just be careful what you are speaking up for. Because if it's something about Apple too that has nothing to do with you, better stay quiet. Now is not the time. Now is not the time to be ruffling any feathers. Guys, in this next segment, okay, we're going to be talking about what you can do next. But real quick, before we get to that segment, before we get to your actions, if you guys want to go deeper on any of this stuff, check out our Patreon, www.patreon.com. We have Saturday community calls. You get direct access to me. You get early access to content. Every Saturday, we have a call, 7 a.m. in the morning. What's working, what's not working. If you're serious about positioning yourself for 2026, check out the Patreon, www.patreon.com/Black Heights. Link in the description of this video. All right. Now, let me give you your actions for December. That was a story that I wanted to share with you guys because it's an important one. Three deadlines this month. Okay. You got 3 opportunities. Microsoft Ignite. That's deadline 1, December the 15th, 12 days from now. Microsoft Ignite Challenge 2025. Complete 1 Ignite Challenge. Submit by December the 15th. 5,000 vouchers available for 50% off Microsoft certification exams. Any Microsoft certification exam, the DP 900, AI, O2, all Azure certifications, 50% off. Okay. If you guys are looking to get certified, start your certifications, get it done in December, you get 50% off. Microsoft Ignite. All right. Microsoft Fabric, Data Days. It runs through December the 31st. 100% free certification vouchers for DP 600 and DP 700, plus 50% off DP 900 and PL 300. Okay. The exam must be completed by December the 31st. All right. Salesforce. Salesforce is offering 2 completely free certifications through the year end. AI Associate certification, it's free. Agent Force Specialist certification is free through December the 31st. Now, here's what's interesting about this. Sam Altman just declared code red on yesterday because AI, it's advancing so fast. And Salesforce is giving you free certifications in AI. So while OpenAI is panicking, you can get certified in technology that's reshaping everything. I want you guys to type free if you see the opportunity. Type it in the chat. Important note, as of July 2025, Retakes now cost $50. So study before you actually take any of these exams. Okay. If you fail it, you will have to take or pay money in order for you to retake the exam. The exam registration, the system will be unavailable December the 8th for maintenance. So don't wait until the last minute. Register now, available through Trailhead Academy. Link will be in the newsletter. All right. If you are a U.S. veteran, I want you guys to listen up here. IBM Skills Head for veterans, AI Fundamentals course, enrollment December the 1st through December the 26th. That's 23 days left to enroll. The training period, December the 29th through 2025 through January 23rd, 2026. The cost is free. You can earn industry recognized credentials, verifiable on LinkedIn. Okay, if you are a veteran, I want you guys to type veteran in the chat. Okay, if that applies to you. 3 weeks left to enroll. Don't wait on this opportunity that's out there for you. That's free as well. All right. Here's your reality. Omnicom. 4,000 jobs. 152-year-old agencies are closing. Sam Altman, head of ChatGPT, or head of OpenAI, excuse me, he declared a code red. Said Google is crushing ChatGPT. Sure. 40 years old. Principal at Apple. Homeless. 18 months. You got two choices. Choice one, learn. Yeah, Microsoft, 12 days left. Salesforce free through December the 31st. IBM veterans, 23 days to enroll. Or choice two, coast. Hope your company doesn't cut 4,000 jobs in December. Hope you don't stand up for what's right and get blacklisted. Which path are you going to take? Type learn. If you're going to take the learning path, or you're going to take the coast path. Okay. I know what I expect to see in the chat. I expect to see in the chat that most people are going to type learn versus coast and stand up for something that you shouldn't be standing up for in the first place. Something you shouldn't be getting involved in the first place, especially when you have something going on at your house. Microsoft, 12 days. Salesforce through December the 31st. IBM, 23 days left. 3 opportunities to position yourself. But first, let me tell you how to get this intelligence every single morning in your inbox. All right. Real quick before we close out, if you want all of this research delivered to your inbox every single Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. Central, sign up for the newsletter. It is free. You would see the link to the newsletter at the top of this video, the link in the description. Okay. We have over 1,000 people signed up to our newsletter now. Okay. We have an open rate of over 40%. That means people actually read it. Today's show, you will have all the information from today's show in your inbox if you sign up for the newsletter. Okay. Full recap of today's show in your inbox this afternoon. Not even this afternoon, this morning still, because I'd send it out at 11:30. I was trying to figure out the right time to send an email or the newsletter. And it seems like most people open it around lunchtime anyway. I used to send it at 9 a.m. I used to send it after the show directly. But 11:30 seems to be the time frame that works for most people, at least from an open rate perspective. So I look at the data and I go towards the data. That's exactly what I do. But you'll get the email, the newsletter, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. Central. It'll be a full recap of the shows. Check it out and link in the description, okay? All right, let me bring this home. We learned a lot today. Get some of this stuff off my screen. Wednesday, December the 3rd, 2025, we learned that Omnicom, 4,000 jobs are being cut. People are being fired right before Christmas. We learned about FCB. They've been around for 152 years, closed. We learned about DDB. Been around for 75 years, closed, right before Christmas. We learned about Sam Altman. He declared a code red on yesterday. Why? Because Google Gemini 3 is crushing ChatGPT. 37.5% versus 26.5% or points, and OpenAI is panicking. We heard what Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, said. Every job will be affected by AI. Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, said, IQ without EQ is just a waste. Marvin Ellison, the CEO of Lowe's, said this, cut workload 50%, which means half as many people. Cher Scarlett, 40 years old, principal at Apple. She stood up for what she thought what was right. She was homeless for 18 months. Now she's at Caltech and JPL, rebuilt at 40. You guys have 3 deadlines. Microsoft, December the 15th. Okay. 12 days. Salesforce, December the 31st. Free. IBM Veterans, December the 26th. Okay. 23 days left. Pick one. Start today. By the way, if you're getting value from this show, hit the like button. Do it right now. Subscribe if you haven't. This is the Daily Climb. We do this Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Central. Okay. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you can be alerted. We do this and we talk about careers. Some people call us the CNBC for careers. We're not corporate though. Okay. Check out the Patreon, www.patreon.com. Check out the newsletter. Link in the description of this video. Guys, this is a Daily Climb. I'm Antoine Wade. Keep climbing. I will see you all tomorrow, 7 a.m. Central. Guys, go out there and crush your Wednesday. I'm expected to have a good day today. Expected to get some information on one of my clients. They're going to move forward with us. All right. At least this quarter. Have a fantastic day today, guys. Good to see you, Jason. Good to see you, Topaz, the Life of Cam. Enjoy your time in Thailand. Big Suggs says, Antoine, good show like always. I appreciate it, my man. Omo Nike, I appreciate you. NC Worker, good to see you, my man. Zank in the Rock is in the house. Good to see you, my man, Zank. I haven't seen you in a while. Tech Bag Trey in the house. Good to see you as well, T-Bag Trey. Let's see who all is in the house today. I see you all. You guys all having a good time in the chat. MJ Canham is in the house. Good to see you, my man. Guys, go on and crush your day. We will see you guys tomorrow, 7 a.m.